All right, Lisa.
Yeah.
I just met you out here walking around downtown in Syracuse. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Enjoying the day. Waiting for a Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday, right?
Good Friday.
Oh, not quite. I think soon.
Yeah, Friday.
Next couple weeks it'll be
Bill.
Good Friday and Easter.
Yeah.
Soon.
Oh, do you know when Easter is?
I don't.
Unexpected.
Soon though, I know, because like Lent started, so it'll be in a couple. I think either next weekend or the weekend after that. Soon. Soon.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you're looking for your brother out here or something?
Yeah, I came down looking for my brother David, but I was looking for my brother Fred, but I cried about him the other day, you know. I thought I lost my brother Thad, right? And I was over there crying real hysterical, kind of like. And it's weird, but I just got out of the army, right?
Yeah.
A couple of war wounds, and I went back to my house, and I was wounded, and I was just waking up from my wounds, and something was touching me, you know. I felt something touching me, right? And it was God. It was my brother. It was Dad, my brother. He was touching me, and I thought he had gone and passed away, you know. It was like a miracle. And my brother was alive, right? So like, what got me was that my brother was God from the Baptist steeple, right?
He was God?
Yes.
Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw him. You know where I saw him? I was walking, right? I thought the God had passed, right? And I'm walking down.
Downtown around here?
No, I was walking by the Baptist steeple down there.
Okay.
Oh my God. I mean, like I was like amazed, because I come up to the Baptist steeple, and it was God. I mean, God was standing there himself, man.
He took the form of your brother? Or is he different? He was just God?
No, he was God, my brother all.
What does God look like?
My brother Mercy me was what I would say. Beautiful.
Beautiful?
Yeah.
Colorful?
Yeah.
Bright?
Tall, handsome, muscular. I mean, the muscles on. Hey.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you talk about Las Vegas and those guys, you know, with those muscles and those girls, you know, but his muscles. But anyways, I get through that. I said, yeah, but there's God, right? So is God married to Mother Mary, right?
Yeah.
So, or is she the Immaculate Conception, right? Because he impregnated her with one look, right? He did not touch, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm looking, I said, where's Mother Mary, right? This is the thriller. I'm walking down by St. Mary's Church down that way, and I'm walking, and here comes, I swear to God, she was the most beautiful Mother Mary I ever saw in my life. She had muscles. I mean muscles. And she was built.
Wow.
Him and Mary were walking, and it was beautiful, you know.
You saw Mother Mary and God. Is that usual? Do you see them a
No,
lot?
I thought they were gone.
You thought they were gone?
Yeah, I thought they both passed.
Well, that's an amazing vision.
Yeah, why I look like this? It's because I'm a doctor, right?
You're a doctor?
Yes. I'm a surgeon, right? So I have to disinfect my face and go through this, you know. I do grow my hair and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But you're living on the street right now.
Yeah, I prefer that because I have problems. See, I have a friend, his name is Duke, I'm gonna keep it that way, right? He was a hermit.
Yeah.
Well, I get claustrophobia if I live in. So,
Let's pause for a second to let this go.
right.
They're not gonna be able to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you were telling me that you were living in the church for a while.
Yeah, I had a bedroom in there. My brother had an office in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Do you feel like you're a very holy woman, Lisa? Are you really religious?
Well, that's what gets me. That's why I was trying to find God in that word, because I needed help with that.
Yeah. So you're seeking
I was
God.
losing my, I believe, my religion, because people were coming after me. They're anti-Christian, you know. And then I started to fail my belief, you know. And I didn't know, you know. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Good.
You're well helped. I'm very happy for, you know. I come from my planet. My mother is Mother Mary and my father is God, right? I've met so much, but
Wow. Now, what was it like for you when you were a young child growing up? Where did you live growing up?
I was happy. We live in a field, you know.
Out in the countryside?
Yeah, in the fields and beautiful pastures, green pastures.
Was that in
The
this,
riding
in
like
this
stab
area?
that cover you. This is from my planet.
On your planet?
Yes, I've learned to speak with you, okay?
Okay.
But we lived in beautiful churches.
So there were churches and
Beautiful
pastures.
churches, beautiful homes, schools is what we had.
Yeah.
Beautiful institutes of learning, you know. It's just beautiful, right? These institutes of learning were through speech. Accepted, but the Institute of Learning was called Latin.
The school was called the Institute of Learning?
Of Latin.
Of Latin?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Latin. They did Jews down this way.
So you had like a traditional Catholic upbringing, church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You learned some Latin.
Yes, sir. But that was not. It was not called Catholic in our days. This is when we were growing.
Yes.
It was called God's Belief, right? God's way.
God's way.
God's way.
So you had a very religious upbringing. What were your parents like? And you had brothers, 2 brothers?
I had one brother, Jesus, and one sister, Mary.
Well, I know you also had those other. Didn't you have one called Thad or somebody who
Yeah.
also was a brother?
Yeah, but that's what I said. Jesus, he was God through Mary, but he was married to Mary, and he was her God.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Wow.
Did you say like this? But he had an interruption. There was a Bible, and it was Babylon, right? The mother of Babylon. Well, she came to be that, she was from Babylon, right? But, do you remember the manger?
Of course. It's in the Gospels.
Right, she was from way in the manger in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And she's coming from Israel, right? And from Israel, she babbled, but she got lost, right? Because he started to call her a Jew. And this was from America, right?
From America?
From America.
Wow.
Mother of Babylon, her name was Barbara.
Yeah.
Well,
some religious people might say that America is a modern day Babylon.
right.
A lot of people in America don't
And
believe
God's
in
way,
God.
right? But
Yes.
they wanted to accuse Barbara of some kind of Hitler's way.
Whoa.
So they took Barbara, the mother of Babylon, to Germany, right? And she was questioned by the Gestapo and whatnot, and they held her. And Barbara sat down and says, yes. She went to sit with me. And they said, do you know anybody that we may speak to that has a matter of interpreting language? So she called me, right? Because I'm an interpreter that I learned from my planet. So I go to
And your planet spoke Latin.
they had schools of
They had schools of
interpreting. Of interpreting.
Okay.
Well, anyways, we went to Germany, right? And family of Jesus heard and done were called the Jesuses, St. Mary's Cathedral. they were caught in. And then Mother Mary and God were caught in over to this big meeting with Germany, right? But particularly wanted to meet Mary because she was going hi-ho Hitler. Now they said, why is it you go hi-ho Hitler? And Mary came up with, well, I go hi-ho Hitler is because Hitler, hi-ho Hitler, because Hitler, we march to feed the love of God and all man, to march and say, hi-ho Hitler, the freedom of man, without cause, without harm. So
are you saying that Hitler, was he a good man or an evil man?
no, he was a good man.
Hitler was a good man.
Adolf was not even guilty.
Whoa.
Adolf was not guilty of nothing. The promotion of man had gone over there, and for some reason, and this is getting ridiculous, right? Remember they put the Jews in the vats?
Well, they put him in
Vats.
concentration camps, right?
Yeah, they had them concentration, but really what they were doing was put them in vats.
What do you mean by masks?
Vats. Vats.
Mats.
Vats.
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 Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now, they put them in vats, right? So they thought Mary to
Why
say,
would they do that if they were good? I mean, it seems like a pretty
because
bad
this
punishment.
is my bad. That's Mother Mary. Why do you say I owe it? She said, I owe it to the Vatican. It says, you figured out where we go. And it says, well, we did have a meeting, but we go to St. Vatican. You can go. So where are we supposed to go? March, Rome, Italy, Pennsylvania. It came on down. That was it. They freed us.
Wow. Well, that's definitely...
But she said one thing. So why was there a concentration camp?
Sure. And that would
What
make
is-
sense. Why would she...
Yeah, right.
What do you say to that?
But
Seems like a pretty
listen to
heinous
this.
thing to do to people.
Listen to this one. It said because we wanted to build all mankind, the burlers. There was no concentration. We had to big to them. And they asked, I said, why have you brought us here? And the man got down on his knees. The president of Germany got on his knees, Mother Mary, will you forgive us for our sins, for no, we know not what we do. We consecrated so bad as to make the United States the most worldless. United States is the worldless country in the world.
Yeah.
And then the President of the United States said, will you marry me? From Germany, all the way through to the White House. All the Vatican was St. Mary's Church, and that was that.
Okay, so you're saying they kind of went too far with they said they
Yeah,
did not know what they were
yeah.
doing.
Well,
Hitler said, I'm sorry, Mary,
yeah, because
went way too far with this. Well, let's talk a little bit more about you.
yes, okay.
What's been going on lately for you? You said 6 months ago you used to do drugs.
Yeah, I was I have a depression, all right?
You have a depression.
A very bad one.
Yeah, so I know drugs can make you feel better for a short period of time.
No, it hides, it numbs the
It
pain.
numbs the pain.
What happened was that, I was in the United States Air Force, United States Army, Marine Corps, and the Navy, but all that time I missed my loved ones, right?
Yeah.
So bad the pain was that I would never see them again. So it was numbing, you know?
So you
But,
haven't seen your family in a while.
well, this is
That's why you feel the pain?
yeah, but guess what happened?
What's that?
I don't know. Now dig this. We're coming from the White House, right? Not me, Mother Mary, all of us, the White House president, and limousine down from Syracuse. All of a sudden we heard these kind of like a fight downtown, all right? And we thought we were being hit by Iraqi soldiers because we were a little war delirious after the war, right? So I got hit, right? So what they were doing, this is getting ridiculous. They hit me, right? I didn't go down, I got back up, walk over, lay down, and recuperate. I said, there must be something going on. Why did they do this? I had to cry. What happened was that they thought that I was in pain. I cried. I'm married to God, right? I am married, I'm married to God. Well, they thought that God had put me in pain and were trying to numb me with pain medicine. And they were shooting needles and pain medicine.
Oh, so once you were in that pain, they prescribed you some pain medicine.
They were trying to prescribe numbing pain medicine because they thought that I'd been with God and He had heard me.
Let's move over there so
So I
the
started crying.
there's more light. Let's
All
move over
right.
where the light's at. Okay, so it's all started when the doctor prescribed it for you.
Yeah, so I went down, right? And all that, but like, so we're thinking we're hit by soldiers and whatnot. The White House limousine is coming in.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Everybody's going crazy.
Sure.
What is going on? He shot me with a medicine bullet, which was a medicine bullet.
Yeah.
And so I got healed up and whatnot. And then the White House and our limousines went through the country, you know, we continued after and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we prayed, you know. It was all good though, you know.
But once you were done with the prescription, you felt like you needed to keep doing it because you said you did heroin,
Yeah, no,
you did
that,
cocaine, all that stuff. I thought.
Yeah, but my numbing medicine,
Yes.
my drug addiction was because
Yes.
I had war delirium all that time.
Say one more time.
War delirium.
Okay, you had
War
like
shock.
a PTSD.
Yeah.
Shell shock.
Yeah, shell shock.
After you served for the
long
U.S.
term.
military.
Yeah, long term.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that together with missing your family really created like a problem kind of because you said you used to smoke it, the heroin and the cocaine and
Yeah,
all that.
but it was all
and
based
Spike.
on, I'll tell you a secret, right?
Okay.
It's all based on institutions, working institutions. I never had my freedom. I was in the White House. I was the president of the United States.
Yeah.
I was running other troops. I didn't have no freedom. I ran the offices. I didn't like it, you know. I was very
You
worried
had a lot of
about it.
responsibility.
But we found, you know, and all this wars, I never had no freedom in that. But particularly, I never had no freedom to live with my people and my family and just live a regular life.
Because they're all the way on another planet, so they're so far away.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course. Well,
I'll just take your hand on that
well,
one.
I got it on the camera, but I can shake it with my little fingers here.
Okay.
But well, so your family's far away. You had a lot of traumatic experiences with the war and everything. I'm sure there's a lot of veterans that would understand that.
I was in a very White House, well-protected hospital from delirium. It was a beautiful, beautiful hospital that cured me, but they were talking about prisons, right? So I
Have you ever been to prison before?
No.
No.
And nobody has, but they asked me what is prison, okay? Why are they bringing up prisons? Now that's the first question.
Yeah.
I said, the prisons are made out of concubines and chemicals, okay? These are think tanks, so that you cure, all right? And they went to the concubines and chemicals, the think tanks, where they were cured, okay?
Yeah.
And they were cured, but yet they were still a little delirious, right?
Yeah.
So I said, you know how we can treat them, right? I said, well, we have hospitals, right?
Yeah.
Now, these hospitals are made up of celibate rooms, okay?
Yeah.
Now, these hospitals are made out of celibate rooms, and these hospitals are celibate.
It's kind of like the church.
Yes, it came to the White House. Now, these hospitals were celibate.
Is there something powerful about celibacy?
Yes,
More
yes, it cures you. If you stay to yourself, you stay in your original thinking,
keep your energies inside.
you grow more healthy.
I can see that.
That's what society was doing because they had come up with some kind of sodomy and Gomorrah, right?
Right, right.
And they were giving it away, but they cured and they cured and they cured. And I said, why do you need these hospitals? They did not want to be raped by the system after going to war. They did not want nothing touching them.
War is hell.
Yes, so they had beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hospitals. And I said, we feel we have sinned or created bad, okay?
Yeah.
I said, but God forgives all sin. So what we have to do is forgive ourselves and forgive them for know not what I do. Now we do have think tanks that you have not taken any type of living creature's life, okay? Or you were shooting in the fields with tranquilizer guns that you did not take life. But yeah, you're delirious, all right?
So what do you think
I
that?
said, kids, come on now.
Why do you think there's so many
And I
people
represented
are?
for it.
How come you think people are no longer very religious anymore?
Well,
It sounds like this is secret stuff happening. Most
because
people are not religious anymore.
it's still sodomy and Gomorrah, whether you have the honorary planets or not.
So we're living in like a Sodom and Gomorrah.
They want to rape. The system wants to rape it and never stop raping from the time of the
The
depression.
system is like controlled by the devil, basically, and he wants to.
Yeah,
enslave
guys.
people.
Yeah, and move.
I mean, I can see like it is like that because people spend their whole lives chasing money.
Yeah.
They don't chase meaning anymore, and they don't
The
take care of
meaning
their
of
relationships.
meaning to me is love.
I agree.
Alright, thank you.
Love
What is love?
Love is meaning.
Uh,
So in your life, I mean, do you have a lot of friends out here on the street that you love, or are you kind of solitary out here?
I'm solitary, right? I was considering divorce proceeding with my husband, okay? Then I married a guy, right? When I was considering the divorce proceedings prematurely, because I did not want to keep responsibility taking care of my loss of freedom, right?
It is a lot of
So I had to pray. I said, you know what? Why don't I grow up? Because I never spoke for 12 years, okay?
Yeah.
I spoke to nobody. I would not speak to anybody.
So you don't speak to a lot of people.
No, I had been hurt so bad I would not talk to
From
nobody.
the war, you say,
From the war.
but also with your relationships.
And relations, everything. I would not even talk to anybody. It wasn't, the wild responsibilities. It was just shell shock,
Yeah.
war delirium. So.
Did you ever have any children?
My husband, yes.
You did.
God's children.
Yeah, but did you ever have any come out of your like?
I believe.
Did you ever?
Not electricity.
Were you ever pregnant though?
With one look, okay?
Not with cocaine.
With one look. I'm talking about strenuous.
You're talking about what?
Strenuous, you're talking sin.
Oh, I'm talking sin.
Yeah.
So, because you're celibate now.
I'm birth celibate, I'm abstinent.
Well, that's.
Yeah, so what we were talking about abstinent.
You're almost.
And
like
we're very low, so
you almost are like a nun.
Yeah, I was a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what kind of stuff do you see out here? Because you're out in the street so much. What are people out here like? You ever see anything that blows your mind?
Yeah. Blows my mind if the United States as a country goes out raping its system,
How do we stop that?
That I don't know. You got an idea?
Well,
do you have an idea?
My only idea is just I use my YouTube channel to talk to people. A lot of people were on the street and just communicate so that people can hear each other. I think that's very important.
Well, what you're saying is love, right? Money is love, then. I had a friend
people mistake money for
you
love, but it's not. You're right.
Right,
You gotta push for love.
I'm married, though.
Yeah.
Right, to the point,
Yeah. Do you go to the church on Sundays and stuff?
Every day, every Sunday.
Like the service?
Yeah, I'll give you a secret, one secret, right? My secret.
Just one.
I've always ran the church my whole life. I ran the church when I was 5 years old behind the desk.
Right. At the school.
Yeah, I never left the church.
So you never left it.
Not at all.
Are you? Do you consider yourself a particular type of Christian, like a Catholic or just Christian, or?
I'm Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Catholic too.
Okay, so you go to.
Roman Catholic.
So you go to the cathedral usually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it started from.
It is the original church.
Yeah, they're cool. Orthodox, this and that. Oh,
Are you done talking now?
yeah.
Okay, Lisa. All right. You told me enough secrets.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you gonna do today?
My secret is, I love you, but I'm fairly lost in heaven and pays a hell if you don't love me.
Oh no, I love you too. You know,
Fair God, right?
in like a godly way.
Fair
I
God.
want to
Okay.
to help you if I can, and you know, listen to you. So do you have a phone to be able to access YouTube or the internet?
I have one thing to say before I leave. I'm a single lady, all right?
Your singularity.
I'm a single lady, and I'm a single lady actually celibate, okay?
You are. There's very few people that are
and I'm sorry,
living holy these
that's
days.
my little secret when they tell me, oh, you got a secret, all right? They try to use some secret deodorant or rare toothpaste, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I fear that they won't love that somebody that loves them so much that might be hurt so bad.
Yeah.
So I don't want that. I want everybody to be hurt. I want everybody to be strong and believe, you know. And that was our handshake. Thank you, all right?
You're welcome. Hopefully I'll see you out here again, Lisa.
My name is Mary, all right?
Oh, Mary. I thought it was Lisa.
Where are you?
It's both.
He's online, right?
Depends on where the sun is in the sky.
Yeah.
Is your brother still alive?
I found them. They got me. They got me.
Okay.
Oh, we had a good time.
Yeah.
German?
Sure, I'll have one. Too kind. Oh my gosh.
Happy Easter.